What's up, guys and gals? It's the Tyrant here, back from nearly 3 weeks of acute bronchitis to not only deliver my first non-Q&A video of 2018, but I'm also doing it on my birthday. And as part of the birthday festivities, I wanted to give a special treat to all of you. If you couldn't already guess from the title, I'll be spending this video actually praising Halo 2. I'll be the first to admit it. I've been pretty hard on this game in the past. In fact, I'm even willing to go as far as saying I've been too hard on the game and haven't given it enough credit. So to help make up for it, today I'm listing the top 5 things I really do appreciate about Halo 2. Why not a top 10 list? Let's not push it. Number 5, the Sandbox. And yes, I'm including both weapons and vehicles. Before Halo 2 was even released, I wanted the ability to use 3 things that I couldn't in Halo Combat Evolved for Xbox: the Energy Sword, the Fuel Rod Cannon, and the Wraith. And Halo 2 delivered. Being able to wield that precious blade for the first time felt like such a rewarding experience, and it quickly became my favorite weapon in the game. But not only were old weapons finally made player-friendly, Bungie also implemented brand new weapons that would quickly become fan favorites, like the Brute Shot and the coveted Battle Rifle. And while there was a bit of weapon duplication going on, the game made up for it with a number of other unique and creative weapons and vehicles. Who knows? Maybe in Halo 6 we'll finally get to pilot that slick Covenant Shadow. Number 4, the game mechanics. The new ragdoll physics implemented into the game were a welcome addition alone. Personally, I used to love experimenting with all sorts of crazy jumps, especially with the addition of the Sputnik skull. However, going into the game, the feature I was looking forward to the most was dual wielding. Not only did this new feature add the ability to allow the player to hold 2 guns at once, but each gun acted independently from the other. Not only could you fire each one both differently and at different times, but you could also mix and match the weapons you were using. In fact, to this day, I'm still heartbroken that this feature was completely scrapped in Halo Reach, as well as all the Halo games that followed. But one major mechanic that has managed to stay the test of time is the ability to hijack vehicles. This finally allowed the player to have a fair chance when going up against another player with a vehicle. And who could ever forget that immense feeling of satisfaction once you finally managed to hijack your very first Banshee? Number 3, the multiplayer. I'm not going to lie, I found myself a bit surprised to be wanting to add this one to my list, primarily because I tend to shy away from multiplayer in favor of the campaign. And to be honest, I didn't even have Xbox Live until 2006, almost 2 years after the release of Halo 2. But once I was able to get a hold of the PC version of the game, I was sucked in, with my absolute favorite map easily being District, a Halo 2 Vista exclusive. But even on the Xbox version, Halo 2 brought to life many new maps that would instantly become classics, like Lockout, Ascension, Midship, Containment, and of course the upgraded reincarnation of Blood Gulch known as Coagulation. But perhaps most notably of all was that Halo 2's multiplayer gave birth to one of my favorite all-time multiplayer game types: zombies. And you don't need brains to know that a full game of zombies can be a bone-chillingly good time. Number 2, the soundtrack. Any Halo fan can tell you that Marty O'Donnell is nothing short of a musical genius, and nothing stands out more than the immersive, awe-inspiring musical scores that he composed for the Halo series. But of all the soundtracks he produced, Halo 2 stands out as being hands down my absolute favorite. Songs like Heavy Price Paid, The High Charity Suite, Peril, Earth City, and Reclaimer are instant standouts, and I would play them on loop for hours on end, in addition to several other memorable tracks across both albums. But it wasn't just the tracks themselves that were magical. It was their actual placement in the game itself that made them perfect, with each track matching up perfectly with the events taking place on screen. It's easy for me to say that without a doubt, this hauntingly beautiful musical score ups the ante for every video game musician in the business. Thank you, Marty O'Donnell. Number 1, the story. I'll be the first to admit I wasn't overly thrilled with the change in narrative tone between Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2, as well as the cliffhanger ending. But when you analyze this story as a standalone, quite simply put, no game of its time period came anywhere near as close to perfection. Even now, few first-person shooters out there can compare to just how well Halo 2 on its own was written. It's one of the few games out there that has 3 solid distinct acts, with the first introducing our main characters, the second doing a magnificent job at showcasing the rising actions, and the third climbing to the peak of the climax while also easing into a satisfying resolution. Even with the game's cliffhanger ending, I still felt a sense of closure and satisfaction while also looking forward to the events that would follow. This was also a series high point when it came to fleshing out its characters. We get a clear sense of who these characters are, their feelings, emotions, and motive. That's why it's so satisfying to see the Arbiter fall so far from grace, only to rise up and conquer. Every character in this game had a clear meaning and purpose, and for that, Halo 2's story easily outclassed any game from its time period and still remains a treasured classic for Halo fans today. So do you agree with my list? What are your favorite aspects about Halo 2? I'd love for you to share your thoughts and opinions about Halo 2 in the comments section below, or please feel free to hit me up on Twitter at MythicTyrant. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to stop by. If you enjoyed today's feature, I'd love for you to subscribe for more great content right here on MythicTyrant.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys and gals. I look forward to hearing your own personal thoughts and opinions. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.